Oh, hell yeah. Welcome to the podcast. Stop Crying Poser, greatest podcast known to man, as voted by the Vietnamese pot-bellied pig, the Mangalica pig, the Black Iberian pig, the Hampshire pig, the Berkshire pig, the Göttingen mini pig, and the Poland China pig. We do this podcast every single Friday, right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'm late today, super tired. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Cooey, Golden Irie, Ron, Stop it, Cam702, Quaint, iBook Boy, Golden Irie, Day, iBook Boy. Appreciate you guys being here. Speaking of Golden Irie, greatest GoldenEye 007 player in the world, visited Las Vegas last weekend and we had a good time, played some pool. Also, new merch in the merch store. Where is the merch store? Well, it's in every single YouTube video description, as well as stevehatesskating.com. Shouldn't really be in a bad mood today. I got a whole long ass night of sleep, but my brain just is not working at all today. I am completely exhausted. I was probably in my bed for 11 straight hours. I wake up, I feel like I slept 5 minutes. And I am just beat up. Really having a hard time today. Probably going to be a short podcast. I mean, a lot of the times when I start the podcast off by saying I don't want to be here, sometimes it ends up being okay. But this is more like, this feels like I'm sick or something. You know, I could probably fall asleep on stream right now, but enough about me complaining. Don't worry, I'm going to continue complaining for the entire podcast. But the weather is one thing that's very nice. My front door has been open, my back door is open, all my windows are open, getting this nice cold breeze. Also, it makes it easier to sleep. Haven't turned my air conditioner on in a while. Really loving it. The dog loves it. He can walk in and walk out as he pleases. You know, he's a big fan of going out on the mini ramp and just standing there, soaking in the sun. I guess a lot of dogs like to just go outside, lay in the sunlight. And it's good for them, right? The old vitamin D, vitamin C, sunshine rays, whatever, to go along with the salmon oil and multivitamins and bone broth and expensive dog food that I give him. What a spoiled little angel. He has this growth still on his foot. Went to the vet. They charged me $70. I went in there. They're like, why are you here? I said, oh, there's a growth on my dog's foot. And then they looked at it and they were like, oh, there's a growth on your dog's foot. That'll be $70. And I was like, what? Why? What did you do? You went to school for this just to tell me what I already know? Should I just be a vet? Because clearly we have the same level of knowledge as to what is happening to my dog. So that's pretty stressful to have to deal with that shit. Also last night, this could also be a part of it. I was drinking Steel Reserves yesterday, but not a crazy amount. The same amount I would typically drink on a Wednesday or a Thursday. But after the first one, I was like, wow, I feel a lot more drunk than I should be. And then someone sent a donation on the Twitch stream. So I said, fuck it, I'll drink another one. Drank another one. I was hammered, which is really weird for such a small amount of alcohol. Maybe it was something to do with I didn't eat enough or something like that. But I had this terrible stomach ache. And this morning I was thinking to myself, what could have caused that stomach ache? Then I remembered the day before I bought some Jack in the Box. On the way home, I had 4 tacos made entirely of grease, and they're good. They taste great, but you know, when you look at it, you know you're eating something that humans shouldn't be eating. So I ate all 4 of those, then I ate one of the hamburgers, and I left one in the fridge, thinking maybe I'll eat it later tonight. So then I waited more than 24 hours, then I ate it, by which time it had turned into a hard hockey puck, and microwaved it and ate it. And maybe that's why my stomach is so fucked up today. That dumb bitch Jack and his stupid fucking box. But the food was good. A little pricey, right? Is it just one of those things like all food is pricey now no matter what? You know, there used to be a time 2 tacos was $1. And just calling them tacos is already kind of a sin. I guess technically they fit the definition of taco, but it really is just a box of grease. I wonder how they make them, in fact. I wonder if they actually deep fry the entire taco. Because if they don't, then I'm wondering how they get just that huge amount. How they get it to be so greasy without actually just rubbing it and dunking it in grease. I have no idea. But, made me sick, so that's great. It's going great. What else? I cooked a picnic pork roast this week in the slow cooker. It took fucking forever. It took like 6 hours. And then there was bones in it and really gross, like corners of cartilage. And then the skin came out too floppy. Big failure. I mean, the parts of it that I did eat, those parts were great. And I did save a little bit to make into a gravy, and that will be great. But after I ate like one gigantic mouth of like cartilage and mushy skin, I was like, dude, you can't, maybe I've never experienced it. A bad food texture is impossible to ignore. You know, you bite into something, you think it's going to be a nice juicy steak or like a pulled pork, you know, and then you bite into it and it's like gummy baby food. And you're like, oh, this changes the whole flavor. Even though the flavor, like, technically whatever molecularly doesn't change, but you eat it and you're like, oh, this is fucking shit now. I'm eating an old snot. I'm eating baby. You know what? Let's move on. Let's move on from this topic. If I make that big pork roast again, I'm going to try something else. Or I'm going to cut all the skin off of it and fry the skin, because doing it the way I did it did not work out good at all. I've been cleaning. Every week I just tell you guys more about my journey into cleaning my house, and it's a lot of work. I mean, I got to set aside, if I'm going to do a room, I got to set aside 3-4 hours, just because, you know, I start with a plan. For example, yesterday, I'm going to go through my room. I'm going to go through all my clothing, because all my drawers are filled with like jeans and socks and underwear, jackets, you know, long johns, sweatpants, basketball shorts, and a lot of this stuff I've never even seen. A lot of these t-shirts I haven't seen in 8, 9, 10 years. So I'm like, dude, if I'm never going to wear these shirts, if they just get stuck in the bottom of the drawer, then I might as well donate them to Goodwill or Salvation Army or whatever. So I got all that shit going. But of course I empty one drawer and I'm like, well, let's move this drawer to here. So then I have to reorganize. It's almost like I kind of have to create a bigger mess to then reorganize things. I didn't realize I had different socks in different drawers. I don't know what my mindset would have been for that. But also had junk drawers, you know how you would have in like a kitchen, or at least I have a junk drawer in my kitchen with like batteries and like clothespins and just shit maybe you'd need it, maybe you wouldn't. I think somewhere in there I have these like rubber gloves for dishes. Just shit that doesn't really belong anywhere. You know, you probably find a pack of like staples in there. What do I need staples for? I don't even know if I have a stapler. But I will find one eventually. Anyways, my junk drawer had just like old watches that I used to carry around when I was like 15 years old. A watch with no wrist part, just only the watch. I used to just carry the watch in my pocket, because if I was skateboarding with a watch at age 15, I'm falling all the time. I would have broke it, or I probably did break some of them. And then I'm finding like old receipts for shit that I thought I was going to return. So just shit that's fucking 20 years old. What the fuck am I holding on to this shit for? And then you find some magical shit. Found a sick ass Michael Kors watch that I didn't know I had. Gold watch. And I found a dick thing. A dick ring that I guess one of my exes had gave to me or to us, and we never used it. It's still in the package. I'm looking at it like, do you want to donate this? Or maybe you'll use this one day. You know, listen, the people that shop at the thrift stores, they don't need these dick things. Although that would be a pretty good prank if you just went from thrift store to thrift store, planting dildos all over the store and then putting a price tag on it. That should be one of those viral videos. You know, quit going to Walmart and fucking with people, throwing balloons on people and glitter and shit. Start putting dildos at thrift stores. That's what I say. That'd be a good mixtape title too. Dildo at the thrift store. What else going on? Yeah, donating all that stuff. Bought some new chairs for my kitchen. They're like bar stools because I have a lot of friends that weigh a lot of pounds. I don't know how to say this and not sound like I'm being a douche. A lot of my friends are super fucking fat, and then they sit in my chairs, which are made for regular-sized human beings. You know, the weight capacity of only like 350 pounds. My fat-ass friends come and sit down, breaking my chairs on a weekly basis. So I got on Amazon, I got the most heavy-duty-ass fucking chair. Here's the problem, too. Fat people, listen, here's where we solve the problem, okay? Quit giving fat people chairs with a back on it. If you give a fat person a way to sit down and relax, they're gonna start breaking shit. So I got chairs with no back on them. So then they'll have to sit up straight. There will be no cracking and creaking of my stainless fucking steel chairs. If you have to, like, God forbid we require a fat person to balance their upper body when they sit down. So yeah, got the new chairs, no back involved. None of this. No, like armrest, none of this bullshit. No way. Also, I tried to get the one without, you know how some chairs have something for you to rest your feet on? No, not with fatties around. Fuck no, they'll snap the bottom right off. So, I mean, you should see. I'll invite my friends over to stream, and they're like, "Oh, you got any chairs over there?" I'm like, "I got these lawn chairs," and they're like, "I've seen the lawn chairs. I really don't want to go over to your house and stream." And I'm like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, those lawn chairs are only rated for 2 tons, 4,000 pounds. And if I sit in it and I reach over to grab my beer, the entire thing's going to come plummeting down." So, yeah, I can't wait to put these new chairs together. And I don't know how I'm going to break the news to my friends that I took away their favorite chairs to break. I don't know what are they going to do on the weekends when they have penciled in on their schedule, break all Steve's chairs? What are they going to fill that with? Because my new chairs are going to be too strong. They're going to be so bored on the weekend. They're going to hang out. They're going to not invite me out, and they're just going to be talking to each other like, "Man, wish there was some guy named Steve whose chair we could break right now, but he got the new chairs, and as much as I try, I can't break his furniture anymore." Speaking of that, we broke a table on stream earlier this week. It was fun. I took like my weightlifting bar. It had like 100 pounds on it, and then tipped it over, and it broke the table. It's funny that's what reminded me. My friends crashing through my chairs is what reminded me of me getting a huge piece of metal and shattering a coffee table. So, anyways, new chairs. Very excited about that. Last night was really fun. Got to hang out with my grandpa. I don't often drink a beer with him. So yesterday I guess not for any real reason. I'm not like embarrassed or ashamed or something. It just doesn't really come up. But we happened to be somewhere that was serving beer. And I was like, "You know what, dude? I'll have a Michelob." And then he's like, "I don't really want to drink today." And then he had one. I'm like, "Okay, this is going good." We both gambled. I only wanted to gamble $20, but then he put in 40. But I didn't want him to think that I was struggling with money. So I put in 40, even though like I had this mental thing where I only wanted to spend 20. Spent $40. Or I guess technically I spent $35, and then I tipped $5, which was also strategic. I wanted to tip a little bit more than him. He tipped $4. I tipped $5, kind of like me saying in your face. We went out to eat. He got the same thing he always gets, enchiladas. I got these taquitos, which is basically the same thing except deep fried. And I ordered something that I usually wouldn't order, and it turned out it was really good. I got a taquito, and instead of, like chicken or carne asada or ground beef or pulled, like slow cooked beef or chicken, I got the taquito, and it was filled with cheese and potatoes, and it was really good. So I think maybe this week I'll do some type of like fried taquito. I'll try to figure out like a similar recipe, and maybe we could do that with like sour cream, or maybe I can make another salsa. Salsa is coming again. I took 1 week off of salsas to clear my mind. Next week, we are going back to the salsa game. I'm still evolving. I'm learning more and more about the art of the salsa. So that's been going on. Skating this week. Well, the day I skated, it was extremely windy. And it was going to be windy on Tuesday and Wednesday. So There was no way I was going to get a trick at the skate park. You know, the gusts were like 40 miles per hour, so it's just going to be a terrible day. Skateboarding in wind sometimes is not that big of a deal, but if you're trying to flip the board, it ends up being a big deal. So I was like, okay, I'll go to this old building nearby, and I skated there for years and years and years. There's never anyone there, and I was hoping they would have repaved the street. Instead, they let it completely fall apart, so the ground was terrible. I tried to relearn wall ride, and it was really easy to relearn. Made a video of that. Hopefully you guys saw that video. But the weather is just great, dude. I cannot get over how much happier I am now that I can go outside and I'm not actually like under the threat of potentially dying. I go outside and it just makes you want to smile. You can feel the sun. There's a little bit of a breeze. No one's sweating. You're not cold at all. So it's just really good for the uplifting mood. Although I'm not in a very uplifted mood right now, but it's just great. So I did the wall ride, and it was kind of like a rage bait because today I posted that clip on Instagram, and I already know because during the wall ride I put my hand on the wall, and in my Ninja Review series, whenever someone puts their hand on the wall, I start laughing and I yell at them. So I didn't even notice that I did it when I was filming, but after I'm looking at the footage, I'm like, oh yeah, when I post this, people are going to be very easy to predict what they're going to say. Every comment is going to say hand on the wall violation, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get this podcast over with so that I can go check Instagram and see how right I am, because I uploaded it right before the podcast started. So that'll be fun, something exciting, just to read everyone being super predictable. Then again, I guess I'm kind of predictable as well, because every time someone does something fucked up on a skateboard, I yell violation. And I think we're going to get a couple of people. Here's another prediction. We're going to get a couple of people that are going to take this so serious. They're going to be like, you put your hand on the wall, you fucking suck, you're the worst. And I'll write back like, LOL, you got me. And then they'll be like, yeah, see, how does it feel? How does it feel? How do you like it when we criticize your bad skating? And obviously I'm just going to be like, I mean, yeah, my hand touched the wall and your little internet words don't actually hurt anyone. So you're both correct. And you caught me. And they're going to be like, no, you're supposed to get mad. You're supposed to get crazily angry when people criticize you online. And it's like, no, that's what you do. That's not, regular people don't do that. Okay, so you got me confused with one of you. You can't look at me and pretend I'm one of you, because just the emotion, the hold on your emotions is you guys have no control, and I can look at things and laugh. I can laugh at myself. I try to be able to do that. So I'm excited for I'm excited to see if I'm still psychic or not after the podcast. What else has been going on? Well, I told you guys my stove no longer has labels on it. So when you turn on different burners, you don't actually know which burner is going to turn on. My friend Ward gave me a label maker, and I can't wait to label it, because you would think, it's so weird how, I don't want to say everyone's mind works like this, but mine certainly does. Even though I've cooked on this stove for my entire life, for some reason, I haven't made the connection to know which button turns on which burner. And now that there's no words on there, I fucked it up many times already. I go to put like a pot of water for like, I don't know, mashed potatoes or fucking, I don't know, a ramen cup or something. I put it on there, I press the button, I come back later, the water's cold, and the other burners turn to fucking orange, and I'm like, wait, what? I put it on the wrong fucking one? I've been doing this my whole life. But for some reason, sometimes if I can't read it happening, I can't literally turn my brain on. So I guess long story short, I'm still super dumb. Would you guys like to win a free Ninja Lifestyle sticker pack if you live in America? All you have to do is answer this question correctly. And it's kind of a funny one because you don't have to be perfect on this one, okay? All you have to do is be within 20 million of the correct answer, okay? Be within 20 million. Here is the question. As of March 1st, 2025, how many hogs and pigs are there on United States farms? According to the USDA National Agricultural Statistics Service, this number includes market hogs and pigs kept for breeding. You can guess this one. You can cheat and look it up if you want to. But all I said is that you have to be within 20 million of the correct answer. So this would be a great time to just guess and go for it. Although I saw 0 people guess. And as usual, Day Day just looked up the answer. So you guys, if any of you did want stickers, you don't seem like you do. All right. Day Day is the winner. Day Day, I already got your information. I'll get your sticker pack out soon. And I have a special set of stamps that I think you will enjoy. And we only 3 people tried to answer the trivia. So once again, as I always say, this podcast series is the biggest failure that we've ever kept going on this channel. But you know what? Sometimes it's fun. I honestly do. I would think by now, episode 350, that maybe we would have got above like 9 viewers, but that's fine. You know what? Quality over quantity. And that's pretty much all I have to talk to you guys about today. I don't feel good anyways, so I'm excited to get the fuck off of this podcast. I watched a movie last night called The Perfect Neighbor. It's a documentary about some like woman that always complains about kids in her neighborhood and then she shoots someone. So I really hated it. It's good if you like crime documentaries, but it was so sad. Usually these documentaries don't actually make me sad, but watching this one, I really did not enjoy it. So if you don't like things that are like horrible crimes that make you sad, don't watch it. And I cannot say that I recommend it. I don't think anyone should watch it. It was really well done though. Great documentary, great. It's good filming, right? They took all this FOIA footage from all the cops' body cams and shit. They put it all together like masterfully and did interviews with everyone who lived there, and it was really well done. It's just such a fucking horrible story. The story that it's based off of is really awful. So I do not recommend it. The number of pigs, by the way, was 74.5, according to my answer here. 74.5 million pigs. I would have accepted anything between 55 million and 95 million. So Ron Stop was 3 million away. Just like me. I'm $3 million away from happiness. If I just had $3 million, my problems would all go away. But yeah, that's all I got for the podcast. Can I get a hell yeah from everyone that stuck around? Although since we did not make it to the typical 45 minutes, whatever. Usually what I would say is if you tuned in late, don't worry. The repeat of this podcast comes out on Podbean, on iTunes, on Spotify, on podcast app, everywhere where podcasts can be found. Also on YouTube. You can find Stop Crying Poser comes out early in the morning on Sunday, just in time for that long drive to work. Extra big shout out to Ron Stop It, Day Day, Quaint, Love My Toe, iBook Boy, Cam702. I appreciate you guys. What am I doing tonight? Well, I haven't really spoke to anyone, but my friend Ward never gets Fridays off, and I invited my buddy Tony. We refer to him as White Boy Tony. I haven't seen those guys in a while, so it'll be nice if they end up being free tonight, just to mix it up a little bit. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. The stream will continue, but the official podcast is now over. Hope you guys all have a great night. Be safe out there. And as I always say, don't drink too much and don't drink too little. He put his hand on the wall. It's a violation. Yep, you are correct.
You're not mad?
Nope.
Oh, no! Oh, shucks!